What's up, guys? My name is Gabe and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is the 8th and final episode of the Fall Camp Preview Series. Fall Camp actually kicked off this morning, and I am going to have a full first day recap out for you early in the morning tomorrow, I think at around 7 a.m. So be on the lookout for that. But tonight we are talking about the Trojan defensive backs. Now, this is the group I feel the second most comfortable with on this defense, behind the defensive line, but ahead of the linebackers. A lot of young talent, some proven veterans as well. And as always, very excited to get into this. But guys, of course, if you are enjoying the videos, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks to you guys, this has turned into the #1 performing USC channel on YouTube. Now, if you would have told me that 3 years ago when I started this, I don't know if I would have believed you that that could have been possible, but we're here now and really just want to thank you guys so much for the continued support. Crazy that we're going into the 3rd season of doing this here on YouTube, but of course, this is only the beginning. But having said all of that, let's wrap up the Fall Camp Preview Series. All right, so first things first, let's start with the cornerback room and let's talk about DJ Harvey. Now, DJ is a transfer from San Jose State, started his career at Virginia Tech. Size-wise, 5'10", 190, redshirt senior. This is your prototypical cover corner. Very instinctive, very tough, likes to come up and play press coverage on the wideouts. Not afraid at all to get his hands dirty. And the only question with DJ is how is his game going to translate to the Big Ten? Because he was a dominant cornerback in the Mountain West. To call him anything less than that is not representing what he did over there. But how is that dominance going to act when you're jumping from a league like the Mountain West to the Big Ten? There's a lot of physical receivers in this league. Now, he's not going to be asked to cover a Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State. That obviously helps. Honestly, there's not too many wideouts on our schedule that I'm that fearful of, to be honest. But if this defense wants to be a top-level defense, and for us to have a good year, I think it has to be. Not saying it has to be top 5 or top 10, but definitely top 25. We have to do a better job against the pass. And for that to happen, DJ Harvey has to be a massive success. Not saying he has to have a Mekhi Blackman 2022 year, but something along those lines. He has to be a positive player, can't give up big plays, has to be really good in run defense. Because in D'Antoni's system, these corners are not just asked to sit back and play zone. They're going to be in the mix, they're going to be blitzing occasionally, they're going to be coming down and playing the run. If you can't tackle, you're not going to be playing corner for D'Antoni, plain and simple. I believe DJ can do that, but again, the only question is that jump in competition. Now, while I have him being one of the starting corners, I actually have the other starting corner being UCF transfer Chasen Johnson. Now, Chasen is a guy I am a massive fan of. You watch his tape from last year as a true freshman in the Big 12. You watch that game against BYU. You watch that game against Florida, an SEC opponent. And not only did he hold his own, but guys, this is a kid that was born to play the cornerback position. Remarkable athlete, fluid, instinctive, great recovery speed. And when you think about USC corners since Lincoln Riley has arrived, for whatever reason, their biggest issue is we do not turn our heads around when the ball is in the air. Just don't do it. As a true freshman at UCF, now whether that was the coaches there or it's just something ingrained in Chasen as a player, he always got his head around. He's always making a play on the ball or the player. Love everything about his game. His ceiling is sky high. This is a kid with all conference level potential, potentially all American potential in my opinion. And yeah, by the end of this season, everybody in the Big Ten is going to know the name Chasen Johnson. I firmly believe that. So your two starting corners, I have DJ Harvey and Chasen Johnson, 2 transfers. Now looking at the nickel spot, could they play a safety there? Yes, they could, but I don't think they're going to. I'll be honest, I have no idea where this nickel battle is going to go. Is it going to be to Carlos Nicholson? Is it going to be Brillan Connley? Is it going to be Marcelus Williams? Is Alex Graham ready to play? But I do believe that Marcelus Williams would be a phenomenal fit at the nickel spot. Watching this guy at St. John Bosco, my God, can he tackle? This is a physical defensive back. Very good coming up in run defense, but he's also a very good press corner. Gives you a lot of flexibility. Because guys, as we know in today's day and age of college football, slot wide receivers are such a weapon for offenses. You have to have a good nickel or you're going to get beat. I thought Prophet Brown had a really tough time in coverage last year when playing the nickel position. Is Marcelus Williams ready to take that jump and insert himself into the starting lineup? If it can't be outside at corner, is it going to be at nickel? I think he'd be a phenomenal fit there personally. Now, talking about Prophet Brown, this is a guy that the coaching staff clearly trusts. He's a redshirt senior, 5'11", 190. And Prophet Brown has had some nice moments at USC. He's had some big-time plays. But when he got asked to step up and play a bigger role last year, I thought it was really underwhelming. I'm thinking about the Maryland game, the Rutgers game. He had a few big mistakes in the Texas A&M game. I don't think if you're vying to be a top-level defense in the Big Ten in the country, I don't think Prophet Brown can be a starter for you. Now, in a purely rotational role, love him. a guy that comes off the bench, gives you 5 to 10 snaps a game. I think that's his sweet spot. But yeah, not sold on him as a starter at the current moment. Now looking at Carlos Nicholson, I do not believe that he's going to be in the mix for that nickel spot. Just doesn't really have that build. Very interesting player, 6'3", 200 pounds, redshirt senior. Transferred from Mississippi State the year prior to last. This is another guy that I don't think you want to have out there on a down in, down out basis. This is a great matchup guy. If you have a tight end that they keep motioning outside, or if you're just going up against a big physical receiver, DeCarlos is a great matchup guy to throw in there, negate some of that size advantage. Because Chasen Johnson, who I think is going to be one of the starters, he's not a small corner either, 6 foot 185. But when you're talking about 6'3", 200 pounds, that's just obviously a different level of size. So yeah, I don't think DeCarlos is going to be a starter for us. Don't think that's going to be his role. But I do think he is going to factor into the secondary rotation, and he'll make a few big plays for us this year. I'm very confident in that. Next up, let's talk about Brillan Connley. 6 foot 190 redshirt freshman from the state of Texas. I said it when he committed, but man, this kid reminds me so much of Denzel Ward of my Cleveland Browns and formerly of Ohio State. Press man, cover corner, big hitter, very athletic with great recovery speed as well. As fall camp progresses, we'll really see where he's at, where he stacks up in that corner rotation. But that's definitely a guy that could factor in. Now, talking about the young guys, let's talk about Alex Graham, a true freshman from the state of Michigan. This was my favorite player in the 2025 class for USC. Positional flexibility, can play safety, can play nickel, can play corner. Great in man coverage, also very instinctive in zone coverage. Big hitter, loves to come up and play the run, not at all afraid of contact. See ball, get ball kind of player. Talking about him being instinctive, he's very good at reading the quarterback, knowing where he's going to go with the ball, baiting him, jumping in front of routes. This is a Swiss Army knife that I know D'Anton Lynn is going to love. Size-wise, 6 foot, 200 pounds. This is a guy I would not at all be surprised if he's on the field later in the year. Don't think he's going to be ready right out the gate. But yeah, there's so much to love about Alex's game. Do not think he's talked about nearly enough. Super excited to see what he does for us. And then you have Isaiah Rubin and the early enrollee, RJ Surmans. Now, a lot of people are big fans of Rubin in the building. There's just so many guys here don't know how he's going to crack that rotation. And then with RJ Surmans, guys, this is an early enrollee at the cornerback position. Barring something unforeseen, this is a stash player for next year. Get him in the program, develop him physically, let him learn this defense, and then have him be ready to go next season. I'd be stunned if he plays at all this year. Next up, let's talk about the safeties, and we have to talk about the superstar Kamari Ramsey. Now, this is going to be your green dot for the 2025 season. D'Anton Lynn is in favor of a safety wearing that green dot. He had Akili Arnold do it last year. So Kamari's going to be the one calling and setting the defense. What can I possibly say about Kamari Ramsey that hasn't been said a million times? He's really good. He's an All-American level player. He's an NFL player. A few momentary lapses last year, like the game against Michigan, comes to mind. But mistakes like that are few and far between. This is simply one of the best players USC has. He's going to be a team captain. Love everything about him. You guys all know the story. Not going to waste your time talking about Kamari Ramsey. Next up, your other starting safety is more than likely going to be NC State transfer Bishop Fitzgerald. Now, while Kamari gives you a lot of flexibility, he can play the single high safety in cover one. He did that a lot last year, actually. But I think the addition of Bishop Fitzgerald is going to allow Kamari to be closer to the line of scrimmage where I think he does his best work. Now, Bishop isn't just a single high specialist. He can come down and play in the box as well. He can play man coverage on a slot or a tight end. But at NC State, I thought he did his best work in center field. He's got some Kalen Bullock-y qualities to his game. The ability to cover long distances, make plays on the ball. Bishop is my pick to lead the team in interceptions this year. And yeah, I really think he's going to be a solid guy on the back end for us this season. Next up, let's talk about Christian Pierce. Now, he has long been a fan favorite since his debut in that spring game where he absolutely drilled Darwin Barlow in the hole. Is this going to be the year we finally see him healthy, finally see him on the field? This is a thumper, a physical presence, a set the tone kind of guy in the defensive backfield. I do believe that this is the year Christian is going to finally make an impact, but the overall safety rotation, safety deployment is one of the things I'm most fascinated to see from D'Anton Lynn. Because there was no spring game, we have absolutely zero reference point to what that's going to look like. Now, while I do believe Christian's going to factor in, what is the snap count going to be? I couldn't tell you. Same thing goes for the next guy on the list, Kennedy Erlacer. This is a transfer from Notre Dame, the son of NFL legend Brian Erlacer, and he brings that same menacing physical presence to the football field. Now, this was primarily a special teamer for Notre Dame last year. Did get some defensive opportunities, but this is another one of those tough run support kind of guys. Don't think you want him to be the deep safety in cover one, but hey, if it's 3rd and 2, if it's 2nd and 1, if it's a rundown, you want to bring a safety down in the box, Kennedy's a great choice to do that. Another year of maturing physically. This is still a young guy. He's a true sophomore. I think there is a role to be had for him in that capacity. And then you also have a guy like Marquise Gallegos. Now, for me, Marquise is a guy I would like to see primarily in that free safety role. I like him deeper. I like him with more room to make plays on the football. 6'1", 190 redshirt freshman from North Hollywood. A ton to like about him. He has a large following in the fan base as well. Comes from a great family, like everything about this kid. And finally, we conclude with the true freshman, Steve Miller. 6'1", 185 from the state of Georgia. This is a guy that Lincoln Riley has singled out by name as a guy that has impressed the coaching staff a lot. Now, with the safety room that, while unproven, I do think is pretty deep, is this really the kind of situation that you see a true freshman break into the lineup? Not usually. So while I would be surprised if he gets on the field, anytime you get called out directly by a coach by name, that's a big deal and should not be overlooked. But again, I would be surprised to see him play a role this year. And guys, that is the Fall Camp Preview Series. 8 episodes, we finally got it done. If you missed any of the previous episodes, there is a full playlist on my channel page that includes every single one. And guys, I gave you my starting 5 in the secondary. Please let me know yours down below in the comment section. Would love to hear where you guys stand with this. But yeah, I will be talking to you guys early in the morning around 7, maybe 8 a.m. Gonna have a Trojan update out going over the first day of fall camp, everything we heard from the coaches and the players. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for all the continued support. You're all awesome, and as always, take care and fight on.